And welcome back. We gather again. It's 6:30 and it's Friday. Welcome. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we dive off into this venture on July the 18th. Good morning. Hope you're feeling well. As we start today out, it's kind of warm in comparison to some of the days we've had. 77 already. Now, the temperature should reach somewhere around 90. We're going to have a heat index around 99. But here's the thing. We'll probably get wet sometime after 5 o'clock this afternoon. Late in the afternoon, we're expecting this to be about an 80% chance of showers. We'll turn to radar in a minute and show you where these approaching showers are at this point. If you're in Louisiana, you're probably getting wet at this point. We'll tell you all about the mist, almost storm system, the tropical storm, we'll call it that. We'll get into all of those details coming up in just a moment. We want to remind you that there is a stalled box truck, let me put it that way, on Highway 145 if you're coming into the Meridian area near the Evangel Temple. It's a box truck. It's kind of pulled off to the edge of the road. We'll look at that in just a moment. The rear end of the truck is kind of in the roadway. Could cause an accident. We do have police. Is it county or is it Mississippi Highway Patrol? Highway Patrol?
It's going to be Highway Patrol.
Highway Patrol are on the scene with blue lights so you can see this as you're headed to work. So be cautious, be cautious, be cautious. More on the way. Let's go out and get our good word of the day. We've got to have some encouraging words. Brother Ben's here to tell us more.
There are undoubtedly many things that you're thankful for in your life, but I bet one of your deepest thankfulnesses is connected to those who helped you in a time of trouble or suffering. They were there when you needed them most. That's the sort of thing Apostle Paul pointed to when he says in Philippians 4, "Nevertheless, you've done well by fellowshipping with me in my affliction." The word fellowship here points to deep relational sharing, not just sympathy from a distance, but true partnership in suffering. The Philippians didn't look away from Paul's hardship. They entered into it. That kind of fellowship is rare and powerful. You see, when someone suffers, many want to pull back. They're unsure of what to say or they're afraid of the discomfort, but the love of Christ calls us to push in. Fellowship in affliction means entering into someone's life and standing with them when life is hard, even if you can't fix it. It means bringing comfort, not necessarily by solving problems, but by simply being present. You know, that's what Jesus did for us. He entered into our broken world and bore our burdens. And so when we choose to walk with someone in their valley, we reflect Christ Jesus. So beloved, don't underestimate the power of simply showing up in someone's pain. Sometimes the greatest ministry isn't a sermon. It's a shared silence, a steady hand, a heartfelt prayer. So ask the Lord today, who needs me to step into their affliction and show Christ-like fellowship? That's where love shines brightest and thankfulness grows deepest. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. If this is your first time to the show, we welcome you. We'll give you a little information of what's going on across the U.S. of A., and then we'll get all local in our area beginning at 7 o'clock. She made a comment there that just caught the corner of my eye. She said, "God bless America." Have y'all noticed how so few Americans say that anymore? It's just overlooked. That's something that we need to include in our language. God blesses those who, recognize Him. You know what I mean by that? We need to be that nation again. Let's hope one day we can. When's the last time you grilled out? Now, I have to admit, I rarely do any shopping. When I do something, it's for my mother. She needs a banana. I'm quick in, I grab that. Angie Ray kind of handles most everything when it comes to what's inside the house. Anybody realize the cost of beef is up? If you've grilled hamburgers or cooked a steak out, you probably already know what I'm telling you. But from 1 year ago today, beef is up about 12%. Ground beef, do you know what this stuff costs? Ooh. $6.12 on average is what the national poll is. Now, locally, it could be a little different, but $6.12 a pound for beef. Oh, my.
Man, it's going to be what's for dinner?
them bulls are getting expensive. We have a passenger who has been arrested. They landed in Cedar Rapids, Michigan. Why? This is just very impolite and very ugly. Then they tried to open the airplane door while it was still in the air. They've been dealt with. Now, why does someone do this? Is it for them, or are they trying to harm everybody else in the plane? Accordingly, I think the charge should be they should be charged by how many people are on that airplane.
Yep.
That'll stop some of this. You've got to have the line. It's just like the child that the parent says, if you do that one more time, you're going to get in trouble, and then they never do anything. Well, that kid grows up to be a mess, doesn't he? That pretty much describes our justice system, doesn't it? If you mean it, if you have a law, enforce it. We have a man that this goes back to 1980s. It seems like we spoke about this. He was a suspect in the 1980s, gotten away from all of this, gotten away with it, allegedly, for many, many years. It was in Oregon. His girlfriend was killed, DNA linking him to the cold case file now. My, oh my. Anybody ever pay attention to Louisiana? John Kennedy. Do you know who I'm talking about? He's I can't think of there was an actor that reminds me of him. He's very plain spoken. He's not one of these elegant speakers. He's got a very southern drawl to him. And I watched an interview with him, and I have to agree with what he said. And his statement was, if you lay your hands on, and again, let me warn y'all, this is going to be Southern 101 justice is what he means by this. Again, John Kennedy there, Republican Louisiana senator, he said during an interview that if you lay your hands on an ICE officer, you should be prosecuted, number one. You should be sent to jail, and here's the part that will bother some people. He said, you're going to get to spend some quality time with Big Bubba. Yeah. Very well spoken there. I don't know what Big Bubba will do with you in jail, but sometimes he may not like what you done. Just a warning there. I don't know. They make things out of this, and they picked on the ICE people. And again, what we've got to remember, there are people in our country that don't belong here. They're not citizens. On top of that, inside with these normal people that were sent in was some bad folks, killers. We'll just go ahead and call them criminals, period. But there were killers, criminals mixed in with this. It was a lady, and they made a big deal out of this in the news. And I can't pronounce her name because her name is Yalong, and there's no way I would say it correctly. But she claimed that ICE, in an unmarked car, jumps out, grabs her, puts her in the car, held her in a building, and starved her to force her to self-deport. Anyone want to know the Paul Harvey rest of the story? Everything was staged. She got someone to do every bit of that so they could film it in the parking lot and make ICE agents look bad. She's now facing conspiracy and making false statements to federal officers. Let's get the book thrown at them. What do y'all think? It'll end some of this. The word instant karma comes karma, I almost said that wrong, didn't I? Comes to mind on this one. Yet again, we go to an ICE agents. They're doing their job in a parking lot, dealing with some pretty bad scoundrels. And I want to say I read it in one of the 10 million reports that was talked about this, that the guy that done this was a valedictorian. Did I mispronounce that one?
I think that's it.
It's pretty close to it if I him hauled around. But he decided to cause problems for ICE and took out his pocket knife and slashed the tires of the ICE agents. He was immediately thrown to the ground. He was sprayed with mace and arrested and hauled off to jail. And it was instant. It wasn't one of these things where they had to go track him down 2 weeks later. No, they served justice, slammed him down, and he's off to spend some time in a 4x4. Or are they 4x6 now? Have they got extra room? 4x6. Let's see here. This is, I remember this happening that morning. We'd never seen this on a former president ever. Do y'all remember when Donald Trump's home was raided Mar-a-Lago? Yep. Do y'all remember that? No other time in history has a president been done that way. That boils down to hatred within the government that done that. Had they wanted something, there were several ways that could have been done if they truly needed in there. A lawsuit by the people that were canned over this filed a lawsuit against the White House and the president. Their case was so weak that even Obama and Biden's judge that was appointed had to drop the case. They didn't stand a chance in court. Thought you might want to know that one. And finally, we'll say this, men being men. What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to have to go across the pond as we go over to Great Britain. And more people, this is just the right thing. There was a man walking in what they call the tube, was basically a subway in the U.S. of A. Guy was walking through the halls carrying his child. A man just for no reason came by and sucker punched the dad. Again, now he had a small child with him. Men stood up and whooped him. They took down the assailant that hit that man for no reason. And that's what needs to happen. Sometimes that's not, in my opinion, taking the law into your own hand. That's protecting another person. It's the right thing to do. You see somebody getting hurt, do something if you can. Now, I'm not ever urging anybody that doesn't have the ability, they're 16 times bigger than you, to jump on them. That's not what I'm saying. Do the right thing. You'll know when the time is right. The New York man, we brought this up a few weeks ago there, but it was a man from New York that was missing in the Turks. Him and his wife were on vacation. His body has been found. Sad ending to that. Airplane rides. And this has happened once or twice, to where the pilot has issues. And what I mean by the issues, there's some mental things going on there. Air India. Plane crash killing, I believe it was 260 people. This was in June. As they start releasing details, y'all want to know what happened? As the plane took off and began to gain altitude, the pilot flipped the switch off for the fuel. What do you think would happen? The cockpit recordings have been released of this, and you can hear the co-pilot going, the fuel has been turned off, and the pilot saying, no, it hasn't. Well, it was. The plane went down. Now, I don't have the evidence or all the knowledge what goes on between A and B, but they should be able to figure it out at this point. We talked about in Maine, a paddle boarder. She was going down the Maine in a river there. They've arrested a 17-year-old for her murder. They couldn't figure out what happened at first, but a 17-year-old has been arrested for that. Awful, awful. Do you remember the fire that we talked about? I believe this was last week in a nursing home, assisted living area. 9 people died in that fire. We now add the 10th victim to that. It happened in Massachusetts. So sad. There was nowhere they could go, what they could do in a situation. The American Idol, and I know we talked about this, I believe it was Monday of this week. American Idol supervisor and her husband were murdered in their home. They've arrested a 22-year-old for their murder. Now, I don't know why or what reason this individual had, but he did. It's in California, so I'm not sure they'll face the death penalty, but they will spend probably the rest of their life in prison. They're going to have a whole other country up there in jail before too long. We also mentioned this as things develop and crimes that happen. UC Berkeley, a professor. We talked about him vacationing in Greece. He went to visit some family members there, and he was killed. Guess who's in the jail this morning with 3 of her friends? The ex-wife. Boy, always start with the ex, huh?
Always start with that.
What makes you think you can get away with that? They're going to look at family first. I always know that. Secretary of Energy Chris Wright says President Trump has transformed the American energy landscape. You're going to see lots of more big, beautiful, clean coal. Those words are often used, aren't they? We have someone that is officially charged, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know who I'm talking about. She's well-spoken in the MAGA world in Washington. They have a man that's been arrested for threatening her and her family. You just can't do all of that. Seth Seth Jason is his name. He's of Maryland. He's been arrested and he will be charged. I don't know what kind of time you get for something like that, but I do believe it's a healthy sentence when you threaten someone within the federal government and you mean it like that. Oh, do you ever watch this guy that comes on at night, Stephen Colbert? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about, but I don't watch it.
Well, you better hurry because his show is going away. CBS has informed him that May of 26, it's all over but the crying.
Well, they've been crying long enough.
They have been. Now, there were a lot of saying, oh, is this political? CBS, the only thing that they're saying about this is that it's for financial reasons. That could mean many things, couldn't it? But it's going away. It's a very, very liberal show. What happened? Seriously, what happened to the days when you could watch these shows with like Johnny Carson and it just be entertaining with a punchline or two here and there, and instead of being all political all the time? Former Texans Eagle Brian Brayman has died at the age of 38 from cancer. Isn't that awful? 38 years old. We all see that Kansas City Chief Rashee Rice has been sentenced to 30 days in jail. What did he do? It was his part. I believe this was back in 24. He's a wide receiver for them. Racing caused an accident. He's going to spend 30 days in jail. Wasn't somebody seriously hurt with that?
Yet he left and didn't check on him.
That's right. He left the scene, fled the scene.
118 in a Lamborghini SUV.
Boy, Odie knows all about this car from a Lamborghini he was driving.
But here's what really...
Turn that mic around. Can anybody hear you?
This is what really gets me heated up.
What gets you heated up about this, Odie?
He's got to serve 30 days in jail, right?
Right.
He's on a 5-year probation.
Okay, 5 years probation.
He's got 5 years to serve them 30 days.
Okay. Oh, he's got 5 years.
2 here, 2
Oh, you don't do it
there.
consecutively.
No, because he's one of these football players.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm with you on this, Odie.
But now the Chiefs may get rid of him, NFL and all that stuff. But yeah, he's got 5 years to make his 30 days in jail.
He's paid $115,000 in restitution to the family members, but that's nothing compared to that was a tire on his Lamborghini. But I didn't realize that when they get sentenced like that. Where's that girl? Is this true that they can do that to where they can just do it kind of? Do we do that in the state of Mississippi?
I don't know.
Well, she's going to be checking her files by the coffee machine over there.
That's outside.
But that just isn't fair. If you get 30 days, spend your 30 days in the hole and get it over with.
That's what
I mean,
regular Tom, Dick, and Harry
that would
would.
be up to a judge.
Be up to a judge?
And if the judge allows it, then
Yeah.
But if it's, that's all with the judge.
But that's doesn't seem right. And of course, it'll be on an off day of a game. He won't really have to pay anything, will he? Do y'all remember watching? It wasn't. There was one that had Kevin Costner in it when he did Men in Tights thing. Well, Robin Hood, Robin of Locksley, if you remember the movie. Do y'all remember that big long rock fence? We talked about this when this happened. It was back in 2023. That lone tree that he stood by there. Him and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
The two men that cut it. For no reason, they went up and cut that tree down. That's in the UK. They've been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison for cutting the tree down. Is that long enough? I don't know. Tree wasn't bothering them. Why'd they do it? This is a naughty. I don't think this is a good plan. Britain lowering the voting age to 16. What are they up to here?
I don't know. They may be smarter than I.
Okay, this is the big talk everywhere. This broke late yesterday afternoon, and we'll tell you what we know about it. Anybody seen this birthday card that has been released? Let me see which network. It was here it is. Let me see who did it. Nope, wrong one there. Birthday card. Wall Street Journal, Robert Murdoch. Trump warned them, said, look, if you release this, I didn't do it. That's not my handwriting. Now, again, I haven't seen it, and I'm not a handwriting person, but supposedly there was a birthday card that was sent to Jeffrey Epstein from Donald Trump, and it had the picture of a risque woman on the front, and then had Donald J. Trump at the bottom. He says he didn't send it. They released it. He's suing everybody. You think the card is real? I'm getting shrugs from that girl in the background. She's not giving me any real evidence this morning there.
Real, but who's the author of that real report?
It just keeps on the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker. All of those are getting sued. Now, at the same time, I guess he's gotten real mad, and he's told Bondi to go ahead and release everything. So will we finally get to see what does with this? He's upset. Originally, he kept saying he wasn't going to release anything. Now he goes, release everything after that.
I thought there wasn't anything.
Well, they did say. He said anything that is pertinent. Who knows? And you're right. Julia said in the background, I thought we were told there was nothing there. Well, we're fixing to see what. Well, it's just like the JFK files, people. Whatever is there is gone. There are things that the federal government on either side of it don't want you to know. You'll never know who was on that grassy knoll. I'm just going to go ahead and break it down to you now. After nearly, how many years has that been? 60?
60 something, yeah.
This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But who doesn't sing along with I'm a joker, I'm a toker, I'm a midnight smoker? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the Steve Miller Band. They had a lot of great tunes. Steve Miller, a Big O Jet Airliner, wasn't that one of these? I'm trying to remember all the songs that they did, but it was good. They made a post this week that said, "Hey, we're canceling all our concerts. Don't come." And you know what the reason it was given? This is where it really gets squirrely. Due to the weather. Every concert they've got scheduled for the rest of the year, they're saying they're canceling because of weather. They said it's too hot. Now, he is 81 now, the lead singer of that group.
Well, do something inside.
Yeah, they do have air conditioning. Like I said, that makes absolutely no sense. This is one of Julia's favorite bands, Jane's Addiction. Y'all know them?
Yeah.
They had a fight on stage, and they're suing each other now.
Oh, peace.
In the end, if you like them, you're not going to get to see them there. The Backstreet Boys, Brian Littrell, is suing the Florida Sheriff's Department because they won't get rid of people that are in front of his house on the beach. He says it's his beach, and he's suing them over it. I don't know how that really works.
It's a little bit different.
I've heard it.
than
I've
it
heard
is
this.
in Lower Alabama.
Yeah, it's different there. I've never been. Anybody ever heard of Coldplay concert? Do you know them, Julia? Coldplay. Do you know who that is?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. You're not. I'm not showing you a picture. I'm asking you a question. Do you know who they are?
Like it sounds familiar.
She's
but
moving the mic and not getting near it, y'all. She
I'm not
sounds
ready
familiar.
yet.
But what they done was, you know how they at concerts they had these big kiss cams is what it is, and they showed a couple, and once their picture went up on it, they went to diving below the seats.
Well, she took it.
It went like this.
He stood there
And then he
going,
jokes and goes, I think somebody's having an affair. But they were ducking and scrambling.
And he's
Coldplay
making
kiss
an
cam,
apology.
Bob says. Coldplay kiss cam. There you go.
And he's had to make an apology.
Oh, he's had to make an apology over there?
He was co-founder of some kind of aeronautical something or another, and she was the HR director.
So they worked together.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go to a concert and you're not supposed to be dating people that work with you, don't get caught on the kiss cam. You get busted. We'll be right back with your weather forecast. You know, we're doing things you shouldn't do. We'll be right back with your forecast in just a moment.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Welcome back. As we look at our record highs and our record lows today, it was 1981 that we had a high of 103. Back in 1967, it was a cool 62 is what we had. As we see that still no report from Jackson, we're waiting on it. Alabama comes in this morning as we show that Alabama will have 90 in Demopolis, about what we have in Meridian. Heavier rain to the south. Even Montgomery will be around 95. As we look to this, what's going to happen today with this heat, we show that this northwest corner of Mississippi, the Delta, is going to be a little bit warmer than the rest of it. Now, we're still going to be somewhere around 99 to 100 here in East Mississippi. We have dangerous heat stress next week. Look at this. All throughout the land, we're going to be tapping about 110. There's it above normal here for the great state of Mississippi. We have all of this. And as we look at our forecast for today, again, 90 today with an 80% chance of showers. Now, we're really expecting this to roll in sometime after 5 p.m. It's Mother Nature. It could change just a wee bit, but that's what we're expecting. As we look at Saturday, we look to be 92, a 50% chance of rain, decreasing Sunday and Monday to a 30% chance of rain. And then things start to pick back up around next Wednesday, Thursday, with 40 and 50% chances of rain. As we go all the way to August the 1st, look at this, mid-90s all the way through there with slight chances of rain each day. Now, as we have this, major times to fish today brought to you by Clarkdale Superette. Major time to head out today is going to be 6:30 this afternoon till about 8:30 tonight. Now, if you're already out there, it's good fishing right now through about 8 o'clock today, and a mile time around 1:30. Sunrise happened at 6 a.m. this morning. We'll get sunset around 8:01 p.m. So that's what we've got happening there. What's happening with the tropics this morning? It is absolutely clear. This little system, and let's pull back on this and pull you over and show you what radar is showing this morning. We do have showers moving into Louisiana with this little storm system that happened. It got downgraded yesterday, fortunately, and we didn't get anything out of that. As we go to Doc's Toyota radar, some small showers there right at the Clarkdale line around Clarkdale Superette, a sprinkle there. Down in Wayne County, more showers. But this is what's left of that little system that came through Lafayette, going over to Lufkin, Texas, in those areas there. A little bit of rain there. So that's what we've got. We got off lucky on that one. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. We've got the gang together. She's flew in. She's here. And as I'll put in the comments of where she's been on an extensive tour of Arkansas. We're going to find out what all happened in Arkansas. It's the headquarters of Walmart. Maybe she went up and visited with them. We'll find out where she's been. We'll be right back.